Three names: Ray Luzier, Joey Jordison, and Neil Peart. Now what? No, dude. No. People that are alive. What do all these drummers have in common? There's one thing besides the fact that they're all great players, and that's they all have an amazing, powerful stage presence. I'm gonna show you one setup today which will give you a great stage setup. Here is the limited edition Spider Rack, a place where form meets function. I build a lot of racks for our artists that are endorsed to our brand. And one of the biggest concerns they have is they say, Brent, I want to be seen, I want to be noticed, I want this to be badass looking, I want to be there, I want to have a huge presence. Gibraltar Spider Rack does just that. Here I have with me today is Glen Sobel, drummer for Alice Cooper.
What's up, brother?
And Michael Miller, Glen's drum tech. And we actually have a rack that's out on tour with Glen right now. It's the Spider Rack, but it's a roided out Spider Rack.
It's roided out, yeah. That thing has had amazing response from the fans. I mean, drummers and non-drummers alike, they get it. They get the theme behind that. They recognize that, oh, it's like a spider, an upside down spider. That's really cool because so much of Alice's music, like we have the Black Widow, that was the song that we were opening the set with up until like August, it just ties in perfectly. It gets away from the kind of rack, I mean, there's some great rack designs, but you see always the one long bar across over the bass drum or over the two bass drums. This is a little different, it's a little more broken up, and the part of the rack that holds those two front toms in the middle, that's almost like a chopper, a Harley or something I've heard people say. So it gets all kinds of cool reactions.
I like to be sort of mystified when I see a drum set. I'm like, what the fuck is that guy gonna do? And you look at that kid and
what's he gonna
do? Well, no, when you see an amazing kid sitting on a drum rack, that's kind of what you got. Damn, this is gonna be cool shit.
Yeah.
So there's that element of customization that the Gibraltar Rack can bring to even a younger band. So when people see it, there's something you can tell there's some work's been put into it. And there's an element of flash.
Yeah.
There's a few like, all right, Neil Peart's got a kit. Ray Luzier did a cool thing with a thing. There's a few guys that have kits that stand out, but not that many. Definitely not coordinated like we did with the colors, the black and red shells, and the artwork. Karen helped me do the artwork. We did a triangle with Alice almost climbing out of the drum heads, that. And those heads are lit during the show, too. If you build that rack, you're not locked into how you build that rack. It's very flexible. That's right until it's out, until it's in. You can boom in, you can come left and right. I mean, we've done crazy stuff with our rack. Huge pipe.
Yeah.
With all this
you were worried about the whole thing rotating.
Well, I was worried about the whole
Yeah.
horizontal piece rotating or an individual piece. Having not worked with it before, but had zero movement on anything. 4 shows in a row, we were in warm climates and cold climates, and that metal expands, contracts different pieces. Never had an issue with opening the box up and having wing nuts backed out. Hardware can do that in the truck. It can do it on stage when you have a thumper and a subwoofer and 120 decibels of noise coming at you. Previously with hardware, when I was striking a kit, maybe I would find wing nuts that were loose on the way out or something. Never had an issue with Gibraltar. Everything is triple locked. The cymbal tilters have screws in them. There's memory locks everywhere you can put a memory lock. Nothing can rotate, nothing can fall. Nothing did fall. I wish I could say there was something to talk about. There's really not.
Too good to be true, right?
In 78 shows, it took a beating, I can tell you that. Never had a problem. And as customized as the rack is, you still have a tremendous amount of flexibility. We've made quite a few changes. The pipe can go backwards or forward, can slide it up and down, vertically upstage or downstage. We've done pretty dramatic things to the rack, actually, after we completely customized it and cut it to fit.
We added a crash on the far right,
Yeah.
which made a lot of sense just because if you're coming around the drums, I've got 16, 18 floor toms, and we had the one crash that was on the right, but then there's one that's more on the extreme right above the 18-inch floor tom, and that was really easy to do, to add that in there.
Did you guys have to cut anything, or?
I haven't had to cut anything, but we've lowered things and raised things, and that's the beauty of it, is we haven't had to cut anything. You can push that arm out an inch, and on a rack, a half an inch or an inch is quite a bit when you take it off the bottom. And the effect up here is this much. If you move the pipe out a half an inch, you're really moving something a great distance. With that, we have the boom arms in the top of the stand, which had a couple of inches of play in it. We cut it. We made the rack so that there would be some flexibility. We left a little room there, and haven't had to cut anything.
Okay, yes, I know what you're thinking. Glen's rack is scary. And yeah, it is, but at the same time, it's very simple. And you can do this with the Spider Rack that we offer just as easily. It's very customizable, and Gibraltar will allow you to achieve Glen's exact setup if you choose to with purchasing just the Spider Rack. Now, everything that Glen has was customized to his playing, the way that he plays, the way that he feels when he plays. It's all got to be comfortable for you, and that's exactly what we did for Glen. We custom cut bars, to like lower, still have that V look, that spider look, but we custom cut them so he could lower his ride cymbal or lower his crash cymbal a little bit. So, it's very customizable.
I feel like just the king on that kit because, well, I love that it's a lot less crowded. There's not as much hardware in the way of all those stands we were talking about and boom arms and tom holder arms. It's a lot cleaner looking. I could see the audience better. They could see me better. I love that. That makes me feel a whole lot better about playing. I mean, drummers, we have an ego too. We're not like singers with the LSD, lead singer disease, but we want to be seen, and that's a gig, the Alice gig. It's all very grandiose. So to have this striking drum set, I love that. And I know that when there's photographers in the photo pit and they're shooting, I can see them shooting towards me. I know that they're going to get some really good photos. It just looks great under the lights. And when I see these really cool live pics, it's like, oh wow, that's what it looks like. That makes me feel really great and proud of this kit.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Brent's Hang. And we want to know, who do you think has the biggest and greatest setup? Please let us know in the comments down below. And remember to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.